Hey, this is M4, here with Master Ball of Round 2 of Poke Cup. I skipped over the other ones, didn't decide to upload them because, they weren't as interesting. So, really quick, the team, I wanted to use a Dragonite in Poke Cup because you can barely do it as it evolves. I thought it would be better than it actually is because Wrap's mechanics were changed a little bit. When bringing it to Stadium, so the Thunderwave Wrap combo doesn't really put in as much work. It's still pretty strong, and it's very bulky, so it's not a bad option. It's just usually outclassed by Tauros, who's the other 55. It's optimal to have two 55s that fulfill, similar roles, because you want them to be the anchor of your team, because when Pokemon have a level ending in 3, 5, 0, or 8, they get a small damage boost. So this is what an OU Tauros would probably look like in RBY, with Body Slam, Earthquake, Blizzard, Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam's nerfed in Stadium, but it's still a great finisher. Nearly twice as strong as Body Slam, so I have it. I have used it a couple times. It's not super interesting otherwise. I wanted to use Dodrio. Just, I wanted to use some things that are worse in later gens. So that's kind of what Tauros and Dodrio are both here for. It's a similar role to Tauros. It just kills things, but it can be level 50, so if I want to use Dragonite for whatever reason, Dodrio can go in as the normal type sweeper. Jolteon and Alakazam are both here to paralyze things and also attack with their respective stab. Starmie is just good all around, so we'll see how this goes. This team looks like Tauros matches up really well against it, and I'll be honest, most of the rounds I've been picking just Tauros, Alakazam, and then whatever third is the most fitting for whatever I'm doing. So we're gonna lead Tauros because it is the best Pokemon in this team by a mile. I will be surprised if this doesn't one-shot. Well, maybe not because it's Master Ball round 2, but yeah.
What will the trainer do now? Oops,
that's amazing. Did that come off Metronome? I think it did.
In this battle. Body slam. There, it's a hit. Oh, it's down. Which Pokemon is?
Oh, that was like the least threatening Pokemon on that team, honestly.
Oh, it's
Earthquake on this.
The Pokemon are entirely different types. Earthquake! No! This Pokemon looks wrong!
That is still normal in fighting moves only in Gen 1, so
Oh,
counter is not going to do anything.
intense battle continues!
Would have absolutely killed me if I had Body Slammed, but we have Earthquake, so it's fine.
Boom! Oh! Is it down and out? There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon. Oh, it's Alakazam! The remaining Pokemon count is 3-1.
Alright, well this...
The battle has begun.
The only thing that doesn't, like, straight up lose to Tauros is the Alakazam, but I think because of the level difference, it's not going to be an issue. Oh, it is an issue because of counter, actually. Yeah, it's going to kill the crap out of me. This seems to be a team where they use counter, so I maybe should have seen that coming. I don't think Dodrio will die in one hit, so we'll just click Try Attack. Why not Try Attack? Let's look at the pretty colors.
Pokemon stock is 2-1. The combatants are making sparks fly.
It is a Metronome team, it just also has counter, I guess. They added that gimmick as well.
Good hit. Wow! Going down.
Try Earthquake next time. Here's the thing. You need to go and do some calcs yourself, because it doesn't do more damage, and even if it did, like, you need to stop backseating. Like, I'm trying to enjoy this game on my own, and having somebody in chat constantly tell me what to do is not an enjoyable situation, especially when they don't know what they're talking about. Like, there are damage calculators on the internet, and every single one of them is going to tell you that Body Slam does more. So, if you don't like the way we do things here, that's fine. You don't have to watch me.
What kind of battle can we expect to see? Begin round 2.
Alright, so I didn't look too closely at this team. It just looked like it would lose to Polyrat or to Starmie, so
What'll it be?
that's what we're leading with.
Whoa! Looks like a bad Pokemon choice.
Is this the toxic gimmick team?
It opted to slowly damage the opponent. Sparks are flying in this heated match. Oh,
Maybe. I don't really know what's going on here. That's surprising. Toxic and then switch out to something else that loses to Starmie.
What now? What the weak? Will this Pokemon swap change the flow of battle? Right, that's sir! No! This Pokemon looks wrong!
Surprising that you would switch in to, switch something else that's weak to Starmie, but, you know, it's possible this team just doesn't have anything that can deal with it, so.
Oh, it's Nidoking! How will the type difference
Psychic's-
affect that?
Surf does more damage, but I think this is gonna be a 2-hit kill either way. No matter what move I pick, I think it's a 2-hit kill, so I'm actually gonna click Ice Beam because it might freeze.
What's this?
Or we'll just get a crit, and it won't matter at all. Oh, it did matter. That wasn't a 2-hit. I mean, it would Ice Beam into Surf would have
There it
been.
goes! A savage hit!
So Surf actually was correct there.
Both Pokemon
Because
have
of the
taken
possibility of the
heavy
crit.
damage. Savage attack! Wow, that's an effective hit! And it's down! There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon.
And this is just the Poliwrath, so we gotta continue.
Pokemon.
Wasn't really. I was expecting to get 2 continues from the first 2 fights, and then the rest of it would be, you know, maybe not hard necessarily, but just hard enough to lose a Pokemon every time.
Is it down and out?
So when I didn't get a continue from the first one, I was slightly alarmed, but it's fine. I can work with one. I don't think I've lost. I think I've lost 1 battle with transfers in round 2 since I started doing this. So unless this is a significant difficulty spike from the other cups, we should be okay with just 1. This is another Starmie team, easily. The Haunter is higher level than the Gengar. That's kind of funny. And Alakazam is just the best last pick. But Lapras concerns me a little bit. It's really bulky and will probably end up doing significant damage to my team no matter what takes it on, so. We'll just go ahead and try to play the matchup. I want to see how much this does. Not sure if it'll do half or not. It wasn't even close. Okay, this is the confusion gimmick team from before. So we're gonna... I think he's gonna try to go for the Parafuse gimmick, so... We're gonna switch around a little bit. Keep confusion off. Body Slam's not really gonna do much.
What now? There, it's a
We'll
hit.
go for a Body Slam back.
How will the SWAT Pokemon fight? What's this? Yeah, it's a hit.
Oh, I can stay in. Well, no, I'm getting confused, right? I don't want to stay in.
It's confused. The crowd is building
That
up
sucks,
this
because I don't have Dodrio to also guarantee not getting paralyzed. So whatever comes in here, I'm risking paralysis on it. I think Alakazam being paralyzed would be less impactful to my overall chances of winning than it happening to Starmie. So we're gonna go Alakazam, and I think Psychic will still finish it here. Oh, well, or we can just both switch.
Oh, it's Ninetale.
This should be an easy 1v1.
Pokemon swap change the flow of battle?
Maybe not, like, easy. Ninetales does have good special, but there's a really good chance of a special drop happening at some point, or a crit. Okay, we've got the Parafuse strats, thankfully the paralysis doesn't happen here.
Heated battle
We'll just
rages
finish it
on.
off.
What's this? Boom!
A physical or special Nidoking? Well, Nidoking's more physical always. But in Gen 1
We're waiting
in
for the
particular,
next
there's
Pokemon.
basically no distinction other than the base stats.
Oh,
So it has more physical attack. I'm not sure what its special stat is exactly, though.
affect that.
I don't know if I want to paralyze this or go for Psych. I think I'm gonna paralyze it.
Now,
Gengar is not going to kill Alakazam immediately, but it might put me to sleep, and if it starts putting things to sleep, I want it slow. Okay, that's fine.
it's confused. What a furious
I
battle.
was effectively a do-nothing turn. We'll switch to Tauros and
Go into
start earthquaking it.
battle. The Pokemon returns to its Pokeball.
Thunderbolt's pretty good, but it's less scary. Oh, well, it's more scary when it crits, I'm afraid.
How
That
will
was
this
unfortunate.
affect the outcome?
Unfortunate, but doesn't really change the plan.
Earthquake. Super effect.
This isn't gonna kill. It'll be close, though. Yeah.
What now?
Well, that sucks that we lost Tauros to 2 crits, I guess, but
It's down.
it is just RNG. It just happens, so...
What will the next Pokemon
We're
be?
gonna go back to Starmie. It's got a free kill on Gengar, and it has a strong matchup against the Lapras in the back. In fact, I don't know if it's even possible for Lapras to survive the Thunderbolt that'll come out, so
A Psychic Blast.
this should be a win.
It's doubly effective. Oh! Is it down and out? There's only one Pokemon left in reserve.
Okay.
Down to the
I...
Pokemon.
Yeah, Lapras is gonna die to Thunderbolt. I think the first Thunderbolt we did,
The battle continues.
it's 75 damage.
Thunderbolt.
So even if that was a high roll and this ends up being a low roll, it should still kill.
It's down.
And it does.
And there goes the battle.
I appreciate it, Kami, thank you. Nah, it's not. It's nice to hear, and I also don't do this that often, so... I couldn't possibly be tired of it yet. This is the electric grass guy. With a much more balanced team as well. I don't think there's any clear option apart from like his Jolteon and Zapdos. They need to be paralyzed. I cannot reliably take them on with anything unless they are. Even Tauros will probably lose that engagement. Um, Tangela doesn't really do much. Victory Bell doesn't really do much. I mean, it can, under the right circumstances, but it probably won't. You'd think that if I just picked Dodrio and Tauros, we'd have, like, mostly everything covered. As Dodrio beats the grasses, but the enemy's just gonna switch out to the electric types, and Zapdos, in particular, being immune to Tauros' Earthquake really presents a problem for sweeping through, in any sense. I think Alakazam is the best lead here. We want to paralyze things. Tauros is an auto-in. Starmie is not. I probably will run with Tauros, Alakazam, Dodrio. But this is the shakiest one so far. Okay, so this I don't have to worry about paralyzing me. I do have to worry about sleep from the Exeggutor. Honestly, paralyzing it is probably the best choice. Period. This is just the right call. This team needs to be as slow and as weak as possible. And if this lasts a long time... Oh, I guess I do have to worry about paralysis. I forgot I had that. We do want to do our best to make sure that this team doesn't get a chance to really pop off, so we're gonna paralyze, switch to Dodrio. This is almost certainly going to cause a switch as well from the computer. The only way the computer doesn't switch is if I get really good RNG, because I think there's a chance that they just don't. Or if they picked all three grass types. So we're gonna learn if they picked all three grass types right now. They might have. They may have picked all three grass types. Based on the fact that there is no switch. A lot of luck so far on my side. From full paralysis and also stun spore not paralyzing Alakazam. So no switch 2 turns in a row. Does kind of make me think that Dodrio might just run through this team. Can't really be sure until we see the Pokemon in the back, but that's a good indication. Nope! Alright, that was not the case, actually. We are going to go back into Alakazam. Because the Zapdos also has to be paralyzed. Or I will probably just lose to it, so... Okay, it's using Thunderbolt, that's good. The thing I like about Zapdos as opposed to Jolteon, the only thing is that it has a much lower chance to crit us. So we're gonna Thunder Wave. I'll be surprised if we don't get Thunder Waved back. We got the paralysis off on the Zapdos, that's good. Yep. Not unexpected, unfortunately. So Alakazam moves first. I am gonna click Psychic. It would be good if we got a special drop too. If we don't, I think that's okay if we don't. But the more special drops / crits we pull in, the better. More luck. Ridiculously lucky in this battle so far. This battle would be far more dangerous. Oh, right as I was talking about good luck. And we get a Drill Peck, which does more, I think. Yeah, it does. So this doesn't look great. I can Psychic again, and that would, you know, assuming I don't get paralyzed, that would bring it down to like a third in range for Tauros to kill it. I could recover and attempt to win the 1v1, which I think is possible if I get enough luck to recover and then set up a Reflect right away. I think what's more likely to happen is that Psychic just works and then Tauros comes in and revenges.
What now? That's a good hit.
That's good. So Tauros can come in and finish Zapdos off, or it can be paralyzed and give me another turn. This is incredibly lucky. Okay.
Paralyzed on the spot.
Productive term, folks. I'm proud of all of you. Okay. Alright, that's fine. I was expecting to lose Alakazam anyway, it just took longer too than I thought it would. So Tauros can finish it off, but I think Dodrio also can. I'm gonna go Dodrio because Dodrio has an advantage on the grass types, bigger than Tauros has on the electric types. So we're gonna do Dodrio and go for Body Slam here.
Neither Pokemon is backing down. Body Slam. Yeah, it's a hit. It's finally taken down.
I'm surprised that the AI didn't switch into Zapdos when I pulled Dodrio against the Executor. Okay, we have a really good matchup here. We're just gonna Drill Peck. And if Dodrio loses this 1v1 somehow, Tauros will finish. By the way, this is how we would lose the 1v1 if this happens. And then we get, I don't know, I'm not sure what Tangela does. Wrap me to death, probably. Mega Drain. Dodrio's special is bad, but it's still not nearly bad enough for that to work, so we get another win. Admittedly, it was very lucky.
Wow! Going down! And there goes the battle!
The electric and grass team was very threatening, funny enough. That Zapdos and the threat of also having Jolteon was really scary. Like, the Zapdos was scary, but the paralysis managed to make it work. Okay, we got the old man. This guy's got funny names. Snokes. Ener. Paneer. Snokes. Okay, so Starmie is the best Pokemon to lead with, probably. I think this is... Excuse me. I think this is a Starmie, Tauros, Alakazam type deal. But depending on the lead matchup, this could either go extremely well or it could be terrifying. Okay, this is a good lead matchup for us. I don't think there are any switch-ins to Surf that don't take a lot of damage that aren't Dragonite, but we have Ice Beam for Dragonite. Dig is okay. I'm not sure who takes less damage from this, Tauros or Starmie. I think Tauros does. We've got the levels from damage calculation on our side. I think Taurus's base defense and HP are also higher, so anything can finish off this Arcanine, but the Tauros is going to be the least hurt by this dig, so we'll do that. We're also gonna Body Slam here. I don't know what is going to come out, or if the Arcanine was gonna switch out, so Body Slam's a good pick. Just generally a very strong move.
What will the next Pokemon be?
Okay, what's out next? The Dragonite. Now, Tauros does have Blizzard. I don't know if it will 2-hit kill. There is a chance that it does, and I do not want to switch Starmie into this unless it wraps. So we're gonna go for Blizzard. Okay, Tauros is, that really sucks. That sucks so bad to get paralyzed here. I don't know what I do not know what Dragonite is gonna do now. It can't heal, it doesn't have any recovery. Okay, it's also going to Blizzard. We're getting cold in here, in this stadium. We're gonna go for Slam. Looks like we're good.
Is it down and out? There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon.
Okay, we got Pinsir. Pinsir has fighting moves.
The remaining
It's
Pokemon
likely
count is
that
3-1. The battle has
it's
become
highly likely that Tauros will die if I keep it in. But whatever comes in on it is also going to take a lot of damage. Pinsir's attack stat is really, really
Tearing
high.
each other down.
I think it's okay to switch Alakazam in.
They strike fighting.
Alakazam will not die in one hit, and we may be able to get a continue off of this if we get
Oh, it's
Thunder Wave off and get a bunch of
What's that?
well, maybe not even a bunch, just
Didn't
some
do much damage.
paralysis turns. Maybe even just one would do it.
Will this Pokemon swap change the flow?
I could also click Reflect, which probably in retrospect was the better play. I forget I have that move, because the only time I tried to use it, I got fully paralyzed 4 times. Okay, Slash as the other move makes sense. Reflect,
Opponent
or,
appears beat.
yeah, Reflect doesn't protect against that move. Okay, so he's... I think it doesn't... I think we just click Psychic, because if Pinsir is fully paralyzed, or if we crit, then we get a continue.
The bear hit.
If neither of those things happen... Okay, we do get a continue. But if neither of those things happen, I would just lose Alakazam, and then I would switch in Starmie and finish it, so... This was a win no matter what, but the play of Thunder Waving it and going for Psychics, I think was the play that that was the most likely to get me a continue, which may be important. I don't know what the last 2 battles of this cup look like, but they're usually very difficult, so having more continues is always a better thing. So, not bad. That went pretty well. I believe that's our second. Yeah. So we have 2 continues for 3 battles. We have to first try at least one of these. This is a Starmie matchup, easily. Also worth noting that Tauros? No, Tauros is good. I'll go Starmie, Tauros, Alakazam. I was thinking Tauros wasn't going to be that good, because this is a lot of bulky Pokemon, but Blizzard kills half of that team. I am going to click Surf and see if they switch. Yeah, not too surprising.
That Pokemon must not have been the right choice.
Okay, the Vaporeon. Vaporeon is very bulky. I don't really know what it does back to Starmie. Aside from maybe go for... Maybe go for a Freeze. I'm just gonna stay in an Ice Beam. I think Vaporeon is a very strong Pokemon. But I don't think its move pool is very good for this matchup. We'll see if I'm wrong. Okay, well, Double Team is good for any matchup, but I don't know what Vaporeon does offensively back to Starmie. I think our accuracy with 1 Double Team is only 75%, if I recall correctly. We need 1 more Thunderbolt to land. I'd also rather they be using Double Team than, like, Smokescreen, because after I knock this Vaporeon out, like, it's over. There's no more misses. No more high miss chance. Okay, so that's pretty much what I thought. It's not really doing anything back to us. And we hit through the double teams. I'm not sure the outlook would have been much better for the other trainer if they had been quick attacking me the whole time. But, you know. Okay, this is an extremely good matchup, and so is Starmie Rhydon, so I think this is in the bag. Depending on what Gyarados does, this might even be a continue. Because I don't think it's gonna die. Okay. Fair enough. And it misses. I don't know if that would have killed if it hit. There's a chance it would have. If it critted, I definitely would have died. A neutral Hyper Beam?
It's down.
Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't get stabbed,
There's
so
a distinct difference in
it's not the
number of
strongest
Pokemon.
Hyper Beam out there.
There's
Okay,
nothing
we got another continue. So now we've got 3 continues for 2 fights. Well, I shouldn't say that until it actually OHKOs. Rhydon's pretty bulky, but I do think it's gonna die.
Savage attack. Wow, that's an effective hit.
Okay, cool.
Oh, it's a one.
The only reason I would think it might not is because Rhydon has a lot of HP, and you can max all of your stats in Gen 1. So, like, even though its special is bad, its HP isn't, you know, I wasn't sure, but, I was like 80% sure it was gonna kill. Yeah, we got a 3rd continue. The last 2 fights have been... The 2 fights ago was really lucky. The last fight was a good team matchup, and also a little lucky. I don't think that Hyper Beam hitting... That Hyper Beam hitting might have cost me a continue, but it would not have cost me the battle, so I do appreciate that. Okay, so... Oh, this guy's lurking. This also looks like a Starmie. A Starmie battle. But that Persian is a lot stronger in Master Ball, I presume. So the Persian might be able to 1v1 Starmie. I think it's probably the only Pokemon on this team, aside from maybe Venusaur, who can 1v1 Starmie. So I might actually want to lead with Alakazam and go Alakazam, Starmie, Tauros again, because they're just the best Pokemon on my team.
The semifinals. No one wants to lose, having come this far.
I don't want to overplay my hand with Starmie, just in case I get a bad matchup at some point. Like, if I got a bad matchup and lost Starmie early, that would be really bad. However, this lead matchup is really good, because Kingler's special is absolute dog shit. It can hit hard with physical moves, but it doesn't have stab on them. So, like, Alakazam being one-hit killed was not something that I was really worried about there. So we're actually gonna do something different here. We're gonna go for Reflect and then Recover. We're gonna try to keep Alakazam as healthy as possible. This is slightly risky because I could get critical hit. However, I don't think Kingler's speed is all that high, so I'm not super worried about that. We're gonna go for Recover now. Kingler's really just a really easy matchup for Alakazam, thankfully. And if we can stay healthy into the next 2 Pokemon, that's a really good outcome for us. And it looks like Kingler's gonna knock itself out with Recoil. So there's a chance that we could get crit. That would be really unfortunate. I think we might live. Maybe. If we got crit. Okay, yeah. Going for a different move now, and it misses. Crabhammer's accuracy is pretty bad. We're gonna finish it off with a Psychic now. I think Crabhammer is, what, like 85 accuracy or something? It's got a raised critical hit ratio, so it nearly always crits. So that kind of makes up for Kingler not having very good special, but Alakazam's special is just so high, I don't think that was gonna be seriously threatening. And Scyther, speaking of not seriously threatening, I have Reflect up on Alakazam, so I'm not really worried about Scyther either. If it starts slashing, then that sucks, but at least I can... Okay, that sucks. At least we can get Paralysis off. Slash is not gonna one-hit kill. I can recover until I get a Paralysis turn, but I think I only get one chance at that. To keep Alakazam alive and healthy. It's probably not gonna happen. Should live, barely. I'm gonna go for... I want to switch. No, I don't. I'm gonna go for Psychic. I'm gonna chunk it. It sucks that it wasn't paralyzed. It could still be paralyzed on this turn, I guess. But if it doesn't happen, it's fine. Alakazam did its job.
What a flash! Hit the weak spot. It's finally taken down.
Alakazam scouted for
That defeat means
things that could harm Starmie, and it also did quite a lot of work on its own. I think Starmie is what we're going to follow up with.
battle poses. Oh, it's Starmie.
I'm going to click Ice Beam because it and Thunderbolt do the same amount of damage, but just in case the Scyther switched out, there was a chance of paralysis. Or not paralysis, excuse me, of freeze, which is more or less an instant KO in Gen 1. As you can see, didn't happen, but it is an option that you have. Okay, I don't even remember what Pokemon I was worried about for Starmie at this point, but this matchup is very easy. We get outsped. But Dugtrio's attack is not very high. So even if it critted, I almost certainly would have survived. Shouldn't Slash have been halved by paralysis? The critical hit ratio is based on your base speed in Gen 1, not your speed stat. So the only number that the formula was looking at is Scyther's base 100? 105? I think Scyther's base 105 speed. So that and the fact that it's a raised crit move meant that Scyther was basically gonna crit, no matter what. But it wouldn't have done that much. Or it didn't, because, you know, it doesn't have stab. This is gonna be hard, I think. All of these Pokemon are Psychic types. There is no way to take advantage of them. Apart from Jinx's Ice typing, which I don't really have anything to do that with. Slowbro's Water typing, which probably just effectively means it loses 1v1 to Starmie, assuming it doesn't Amnesia, but I don't know what the sets are on these Pokemon. And Exeggutor's Grass typing is taken advantage of quite well by Dodrio. Who's also a fairly good matchup against most of these Pokemon, assuming it can go first. So I think the play here is to go Alakazam, Dodrio, Tauros. And we're going to play very carefully. We want to keep Alakazam as alive as long as possible and to get as many paralyses off as possible. So we're going to start with paralysis against Zamenza. Now this Alakazam almost certainly also goes Thunder Wave. I can't really switch. Switching is not a good idea. Because there's nothing... There isn't really any Pokemon anywhere that is going to take an Alakazam Psychic very well. Fortunately, we get the best RNG I've ever seen in the universe on this turn with a crit, special drop, full paralysis, after an outspeed. Absolutely ridiculously good luck here. And it means that we will out-Psychic this Alakazam, eventually. We are going to have to sit through recovers, probably, but the special drops will mean that it will eventually go down. Unless it switches, but that's fine. This is another chance for us to paralyze something. And since it's switched out, its Reflect is now gone. Because that only applies to the currently battling Pokemon in Gen 1. So, Hypno comes out. It's fine. We were never going to do very much damage with this. But it's another thing that we can paralyze, so let's go for that.
What now? Oops, it's paralyzed.
And we get paralyzed, which is...
What's this?
It's fine. This is... Alakazam's job is to paralyze the other Pokemon.
Battle continues.
Psychic PP will run out eventually. We're mostly fishing for Psychic drops. It would be... or special drops, like that. And to chunk the Pokemon, because I don't think Hypno has Recover. So we're gonna keep using Psychic.
The crowd's excitement is building over this hot battle.
Unfortunate, but I mean the psychic PP lasts longer if we're fully paralyzed, right? Now Hypno's special is also very high, so I don't really want to switch anything into this either. Even though it has a special drop already, I don't particularly want to switch anything into it. Although, actually, I don't know, with the special drop, I think, with the special drop and considering Tauros is very tanky, I actually think I can do this. And it'll give me a huge, like, I'll take some damage, yeah, but Tauros should be able to finish off Hypno from 70. Seismic Toss, makes sense. I kind of wish I had given that to my Alakazam, but, you know. We're gonna go for Body Slam. It should kill. I'm, like, 80% sure that this is going to kill no problem. Especially if it crits, then there's no question at all. So that's Hypno down. He's got a paralyzed Alakazam, and one other Mon that I haven't seen yet. Jinx. Okay, Jinx is definitely going to die to double Body Slam. There's no question about this. And if I crit, it'll be a one shot, and Tauros is like a 1 in 5 chance. And we get the paralysis, so we didn't even need Alakazam for that last one. And I'm almost surprised that the Jinx didn't go for Lovely Kiss. I mean, I'm okay with it, but yeah, that's a little surprising. So we'll just finish it off with another Body Slam.
Savage attack. There, it's a hit. Oh, is it down and out? There's a distinct difference in the...
So this is a little awkward. Alakazam is Reflect. I don't know if it'll die to Hyper Beam, but if I give it a free turn by going for if I give it a free turn by going for Hyper Beam and not killing it, it's going to recover and then probably kill me on the next turn. I'm gonna click Body Slam for the first move. We'll see what happens, and if it gets Reflect up, I'll Hyper Beam. Oh, Hyper Beam might have just killed outright, actually.
What's this?
And that's gonna kill, no question. Psychic is really, really strong.
Which Pokemon
Yeah, so I actually underestimated how strong Tauros was just now. I did not think Hyper Beam would one-shot, but after seeing that damage, it definitely would have. And we're gonna finish Alakazam off with Pretty Colors.
Good hit.
Okay, good night. That's it. That's Master Ball. Honestly, having a level 55 Tauros that you spam the Safari Zone for on 3x speed with good stats definitely help. You can do this with other Pokemon too, for sure. And you can also stat train to get even better outcomes on your Mons. I did stat train a little bit, but I didn't excessively go for it. I just went for... I just trained on areas, like, slightly lower level than my Pokemon, for the most part, until a certain point was my strategy. So, the stat training, the stat EXP you get, or the equivalent of EVs in later gens, is based off the base stats of the Pokemon you knock out. So knocking out more Pokemon tends to give you more stats than knocking out a bunch of higher level Pokemon. So it makes training longer, but your Pokemon get a lot stronger. Kenny absolutely ran through Pokecup. I did use Dragonite a couple times, but it was in the other cups, and once it got hacked to death with it lost a paralysis rap war. I haven't really used it that much since then, but I do love Dragonite. It's one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1. So yeah, that's it. That was easier than I expected. I thought I would lose at least one battle, but No, we did get some pretty good luck a couple of times, granted. I had an electric type weakness that I realized on, I think it was the Juggler, when his team came up and I saw Jolteon and Zapdos, I was like, oh no. How am I gonna do this? But it was only Zapdos, and we got it paralyzed, so that wasn't too much of a problem. So I am gonna do Prime Cup eventually, but it's gonna take a long time to train the Pokemon up to the level that I need them. That said, yeah, thanks for watching.